Hello, and welcome back to the Love Pod podcast. On today's episode, we are chatting with Taylor Rue from Love is Blind Season 5.
Okay. Hey, Taylor, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Love Pod.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us on vacation. I'm sure, you've got a ton you'd rather be doing, so we'll try not to keep you too long. We really appreciate you being here, and we're so excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited too.
What have you been up to? Like, where are you vacationing? What's new? Tell us what's going on in life.
I'm visiting my sister right now, and then we're going to like this tree house today. It's like an hour away from Austin. Just a little vacation, her and I. And then I'll stay in New Braunfels until Monday, which this is where I'm planning to move this summer. So yeah, I'm trying to get the feel for it.
Okay, that's exciting. Big moves are always exciting. Have you been there pretty frequently before?
Yeah, she's been up here since college and she's 23 now, so I've come up here a lot. It's just a good little town. I feel like it's a good place to like start a family and all those things. And I haven't lived by her since, she was in high school, or I was in high school, I guess. So, yeah.
All right, that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Have you had time to keep up with the new season of Love is Blind?
I have. So I've watched like bits and pieces. I don't necessarily like watch the whole thing through. Just because I feel like I still get a little bit anxious watching. It's kind of funny that happens, but I'm definitely going to watch the reunion, like all of it.
It looks really good.
It does, good. Yeah.
Were you there?
I was not there. Maybe next one or the one after that. Yeah. I'm hoping I get back, like invited back. So we'll see.
Well, we'll let them know that we want to see you back. All right, let's get into the questions. So we'll start where it all began in the dating world, and then we'll kind of go from there through the show and then have some fan questions for you.
Okay.
So my first question is, what did you want to be when you grew up? So like way back in the day.
Okay, so a teacher. But it's funny. I went to school originally to be a nurse. And I was like, absolutely not. This is not for me. But I was like, I still want to help people and like, especially kids. And that's why I got into teaching. But I had like a little paper from like third grade and it says, when I grow up, I want to be a teacher. And I'm like, I should have just stuck with it. But I didn't know any better. So
I can absolutely see that. And it's funny. I like to ask this because it helps see a little bit about you as a person and then like how you got edited on TV and if it's similar or not. But I could totally see you being a teacher. Let's talk. Like oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, sorry. I just said I feel like it fits me.
Yeah, I think so. From our very brief interaction so far, I absolutely could see that. What about your dating history? What was it like prior to being on the show?
Oh my gosh, my dating history, I feel like it was terrible. I was in like a long-term relationship for 7 years. It was very toxic on and off. And then we broke up in college. And then I didn't really get into like a serious relationship until the one I have now. Or I guess it was JP and then the one I have now. Sure. But yeah, I don't know. I just never could find the right guy.
Do you have, besides maybe your Love is Blind experience, the most memorable date?
Good or bad?
Either. Whatever comes to mind.
I've had some bad ones. I've had like stalker vibes before. Yeah, really scary. Honestly, my date with Cam, my first date with Cam was so good. It like lasted for 2 days. That sounds so funny. But
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We went down to Galveston and did dinner and drinks and just like hung out all night. And the next day he brought me flowers and we went bowling. And it just like lasted for so long. I was like, I've never been like this comfortable with somebody. So honestly, that was probably my best date. Hence why I'm dating him.
Sweet. Yeah, hence why you're together now.
Right.
And did you have a checklist before going on the show?
Of like what I want in a man?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I did. I wish I had my journal with me, but like 10 different little qualities, some are little, some are not, that I wanted in a man, like being a Christian, and I put tall on there, which is such a small thing, but personality is someone who can make me laugh. Like I have like the 10 things that I'm like I look for: good family, hardworking, good work ethic, stuff like that. So
How did that change after your filming experience?
I didn't it hasn't changed. I
Okay.
still like really, I mean, like for me, I don't look so much into looks anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like I definitely think the physical attraction is important, but it's not the number one thing on my list. Especially right after the show, it was like I really do believe you can fall for somebody based on their personality,
Mm-hmm.
and like just their voice and like what you get to know about them. So I mean, I guess in that aspect it changed, but other than that, like I still want a Christian. I mean, I have one, but like a Christian man, good family, hardworking,
Sure.
and so like I still want all of those things. So
Okay, that's fair. And it's funny because obviously we haven't spoken to JP. We only know what we saw of him on camera. And some
yeah.
of the qualities that you were listing, I was like, I don't know what he told her in those
Well,
pods.
yeah, and so like I guess like a lot of it you don't see. They pick and choose. And he really did like we had great conversation in the pods. He was making me laugh in the pods. There was like spurts of like that awkward silence, but I didn't really think too much of it because we can be in those dates for so long. So it
Sure.
didn't really cross my mind while we were in the pods.
Yeah, that happens too. I mean, even 2+ years into a relationship, sometimes my boyfriend and I are just like, let's just be quiet in each other's presence. And I think that's good too, to be
Yeah,
comfortable in the silence.
for sure.
Now, were you recruited for the show or did you apply?
I was recruited through Instagram.
Okay. And did you think it was real?
No, I thought it was a scam. I was like, there's no way. I remember I was at work and I went to my friend's room across the hall and I was like, this can't be real, right? And we were like, we don't know, we don't know. And then I had like the interview process and I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening. So pretty crazy. I have no idea how they found me, but I'm glad they did.
You never asked?
No, I never asked.
That's what I want to know too. How are they finding you guys? They just hashtag Houston.
I think that only one girl from our season applied for it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think people know that. Everybody we've spoken to so far has been recruited. And that's not to say everybody is, but we haven't spoken to anybody who naturally applied
Right.
since the first season.
Right.
So, and even the first season, people were getting DMs and things like that. So that's
Yeah.
pretty interesting. What was the craziest question they asked you, either on the paper application or in your interviews?
Oh gosh, it was so long ago. I'll tell you what, I don't remember like questions, but I
Sure.
remember scrambling around my house trying to find the perfect outfit for the interview. And it was funny, like before the interview, I was talking with some people, before we started filming, because then they sent it to, excuse me, other people, like
Sure.
higher up, I guess. And they were like, go change into this. Now try this color. Now try. And I'm like scrambling. And by the time I got to the interview, I was like sweating. And I was like, I'm so nervous. My heart's like beating out of my chest.
Oh
I was
no.
like, I'm not going to get it. They're not going to like me.
No, everybody loved you.
Thanks.
There's always a mixed bag of like questions and comments when we do the Q&A from the audience. And every once in a while we get people on and fans are just coming for you, but you
Yeah.
had all positive, we'll get to them later, but it was a
Okay.
lot of just compliments, not even questions,
Aw.
and a lot of questions too. So everybody loved you. Obviously casting loved you.
Thank you.
So you talked a lot about like the changing wardrobes and everything. So once you got the call, how do you prepare for the show?
Okay, another funny story. I literally thought it was going to be filmed in Houston. And then
Okay.
I get an email that we're flying to LA. And I'm like, what? And at this point, this sounds silly, but I had never been on a plane by myself. I'm kind of afraid to fly. And I was
Okay.
like, okay, I'm going to have to like prepare to get on a plane by myself, eventually like give up my phone. I have to pack 3 weeks of outfits because I could potentially end up in Mexico. I could end
Hmm.
up engaged, like all the things. So they send you everything that you're going to need, and then you get your outfits approved and you go from there, which that part was pretty easy. I love clothes. So I was like, okay, I got this. But then like me thinking about flying by myself, I was like, I cried when I got to the airport and I left my
Oh no.
parents. I was like tearing up and I was like, what is wrong with me? I'm just a baby. I don't like flights, but I got over it.
Did you see, this was actually a fan question, but I'll ask now since we're talking about it. Did you try to scope out or see if anybody on the plane you thought might also be going to the show?
Oh yeah. I was looking around when we were sitting waiting to get on. I noticed like a few girls and then I was like, okay, maybe, but maybe not. And then we got on the plane and I was actually seated next to Stacy.
Oh,
And
okay.
I asked her, I was like, where are you going? And she was like, I'm going to a recruitment event or something like that. No, oh my God, what did she say? I can't remember what she said, but something sneaky. And she's like, where are you going? And I just said the same thing. And we just kind of looked at each other. We're like, mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
And
you
we,
knew.
we got pretty close on the plane. We didn't like talk about it because, you know, that's not, you're not supposed to, but
Hmm.
we both knew. And
Yeah.
then once we landed and we saw all the girls, I was like, oh my gosh, I do remember seeing them. And it's crazy. Half of them I didn't see on the plane. So,
I was wondering if they would book you all on separate flights so that you would just never know, but you would have to have 30 different flights into
right,
LA. So that would be quite the process. But
right.
so that's good to know. And did you know anybody else once you got there? Because it seems like Houston's kind of a small, big city.
I did not know anybody else. I met Stacy and I met Myra, I think at the airport. So those
Okay.
two. And then once we landed, I obviously started talking to the other girls, but I didn't know
Yeah.
anyone.
And then what was your first impression when you got to the set?
Um, it was definitely nerve wracking, but it was also exciting. Just very different. And like you see things that you don't see on TV, you know? Like you're like, oh, that's a green screen. No way. Like, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And so, I don't know. It was really cool though. Like the lounge area was really fun. The pods were really cool, honestly. Like that was probably my favorite part. I loved hanging out with the girls, but like when you go in the pods, like the excitement and stuff, it's just so fun.
Do you know before you open that door who you're going to have on the other side, or is it always a surprise?
Okay, so you get a paper of who you're going to be going on a date with.
Hmm.
But first day, I think like the first couple days you don't know. You just kind of walk and you're like, who am I talking to? And it's like speed dating. But then
Sure.
after you have your choices, you kind of know who you're walking in to talk to, you know?
Yeah. Who are your initial connections besides obviously JP?
Um like top 3, top 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked Josh. He was actually my second for a
Love
while.
Josh.
Um, I liked who else was even on there? I liked Chris for a little bit. I had like a good. I liked Izzy for a little bit. Like I had a good connection with a couple of them. Like good conversation with a couple of them.
Sure.
But my top two were JP and Josh.
We spoke to Josh. His interview is actually coming out. It'll air on Tuesday, but we spoke to him
Nice.
about 2 weeks ago, and he's great too. Everybody's been so
Yes.
nice and so
Yes.
welcoming. We spoke to Izzy. I mean, even Shake, I think, was like the biggest villain on the show that we've spoken to. And again, everybody has been so kind and
Yeah.
welcoming. And it just makes us love you guys even more because we're
Oh,
already fans of the show. But now, when you guys take the time to connect with us and stop by for interviews, we really appreciate it. So thank you
yeah.
for
Of
that.
course. Of course.
Okay, so you start your dates. There's a lot, obviously, of filming that's done, but not everything makes it on air. So, what was your favorite moment that you wish they aired?
I just feel like I wish that they would have aired more dates
Okay.
with JP and I because I feel like watching it, it kind of just like, oh, we fell in love so quick. And we really did have such a good connection in the pods. I just wish that more of that would have been shown, like our deeper conversations.
Yeah, it does seem like from what we see on TV, it we understand like they can't show everything, but there's some relationships where it's just like, oh, and then they're together.
Mm-hmm.
And we barely saw you have a pod date.
Mm-hmm.
So that is interesting. And you guys were one of those couples who was like, okay, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
But that's fair. And I know you guys had a lot of really fun time shooting and maybe not so much fun shooting. So what were the best and worst parts?
Honestly, I loved the lounge. Like I loved hanging out with the girls, talking with them, dancing with them. Like we had, you know, we just got along, all of us, so well. Well, actually most of us. There was 2 that were not getting along.
Oh,
I think we all know
okay.
who those 2 were.
I wonder who those were.
But most of us were all getting along really well. And that was probably my favorite part. I didn't really have a bad time. Like I didn't have, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have a
Yeah.
sad time or a bad time or anything like that.
Was it as awkward as it appeared on air to have kind of these 2 in their clique and then everybody else getting along? Was that as a parent when you were filming?
I want to say yes, but I was like so in the moment that I was
Yeah.
just dealing with my own stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so I just
Sure.
didn't even focus on it. Like part of it, like watching back, I'm like, that happened. Where was I? Because I don't remember that.
Okay.
So it's just because you're in your own world and like you're focused on who you're dating, and obviously you're making those friendships. But
Yeah, totally understandable. Do you know of any secret couples from your season? We know about Paige and Josh, obviously. That
right.
was a big story with people, and Josh is going to share a lot about that on Tuesday if anybody wants to tune in then. And I think it's actually live on our YouTube as well now. But anybody else that ended up dating after or got engaged and we just didn't see?
There was couples that obviously, got engaged, but nobody dated after.
Okay.
And I believe like they pick people that they think are going to make it. And
Okay.
that's why they continue filming those people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. So now we go from the pods. What moment did you know that you were going to get engaged, or did you feel like you were going to have this really strong connection?
I knew probably like halfway through the dating that I was going to end up with JP. And it was funny because like we were still kind of going on dates with other people, and the girls would come back and tell me like, he's just talking about you. He doesn't want to talk to me about anything else. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna end up with him. I was set on him pretty early on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have enjoyable moments in Mexico that we didn't see? Because it was all painted pretty awkwardly, which I'm sure it was. But were there pockets where you guys were getting along?
Yes, there were times that we were getting along, and we had maybe 2 really long, good conversations. But most of what y'all saw is honestly how it went. It just was really hard to get anything out of him. And definitely got frustrated like night 1. I brought it up so early just because like I am like a fixer. If I feel like something's off, I want to
Sure.
fix it. And he, I think he said this at reunion, like I shouldn't have been hounding him, but at the same time, I was trying to hold on, I'm gonna move. I was trying to fix it, and he thought I was hounding him. So I guess however you want to look at it, I was just trying to fix it.
Sure.
But there were definitely enjoyable moments. We went on the 4-wheelers that one day, and that was pretty fun. Honestly, I had fun at the beach party with all the other couples. But there were good moments. But most of what you saw is what happened.
Were there other opportunities to interact with the other couples, or was it that one party and you guys spent most of the time?
Just that one party.
Oh, well, I guess you are supposed to be on kind of a honeymoon, a pre-honeymoon.
You are, yeah.
Okay, well, that's totally understandable. What about the turning point? So you guys had that conversation. Was that the moment you knew that it wasn't going to work?
So, probably second day, like, I said, I brought it up night 1 in Mexico. We still slept in the same room. Night 2, we still slept in the same room. It was night 3 that we had, I believe, the tough conversation, and after the party with everybody else. And that's when I knew. And I think I knew a little bit before the party with everybody else, but then going and seeing the other couples interact, it was just like, this is not how it's supposed to be. We're not in the honeymoon phase. And this is literally our first time being, in person with each other. This is not how it should be. And then the conversation was just like the cherry on top. I was just like, oh my gosh.
And then when those situations happened, did production step in at all to try and either convince you to stay longer, or that maybe it would work out, or they just kind of let you do your own thing?
They were pretty good about feel like they were pretty good about letting me just talk, but you know, they want you to stay. They're like, "Hey, this is the person you said yes to, like you need to think about it," you know? And so I did, and I did, and I did, and did, and then I was like, "No, I'm done." And when I was ready to go, I was allowed to go. So,
Did they put you guys on the same flight home?
no, thank God. So I
Okay.
actually flew home super early in the morning.
Okay.
And then they did. So,
That I know that happened with Chris and Johnny and a few other cases. So I was thinking what an awkward flight that would be
that'd
if
be
you guys then
terrible.
had to sit next to each other the whole time. But then cameras would probably be there to see if they could get
Yeah.
anything good. Would you do the show again?
Um, if Cam and I were not together,
Yeah,
yes.
obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Probably. I think it's a super cool experiment, and like I said, I think it's fun to like fall for somebody based on who they are and not what they look like. So yeah, I think it's a good experiment. I think if you have the opportunity to do it, you should do it.
And do you watch other reality shows at all?
I do. I watch a
Okay.
few things here and there. I'm not like crazy about it, but I'll watch stuff here and there.
What show would you be on? So you could pick any show other than Love is Blind. What would be your show?
Oh my gosh.
Are you a cooking person, an adventure
No,
person?
no.
So we're
I'm
not
like,
going to see you on Survivor.
no, yeah. I'm like, I think it'd be fun, but y'all would be like, this girl needs to get off the TV right now. Oh my gosh. I was watching one the other day. I thought it was so cool. They don't have like reality stars on there. They have just normal people on there. The truth, gosh, what is it? And they try to like all stay on for money.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
do you know what
I
I'm
think it
talking
is.
about? And they all
Yes,
have to be
it's
like
on
super
Netflix. Yeah.
honest. The trust.
Hmm. Yeah.
The trust. I
Yes.
think that would be super cool because like you're getting those like interactions with different people, you're making friendships. I feel like I'd be good on there too because I feel like everybody would trust me, which like they should, but you know, I
Yeah.
just think it would be fun. So maybe like something like that. And I would definitely, I don't think Cam and I are ever gonna break up, but if we were
I
to,
hope not.
I would try another dating show because they're fun
Okay.
and you know.
What about Married at First Sight?
I mean, I basically did that with Love is Blind, right? So
It's true. Well, you didn't sign the paperwork, luckily.
yes. But yeah, I mean, I
Okay.
I think it's fun. I
Well, it's
think
good
they're
to
all
know.
fun. Yeah.
We only see it from one aspect, so it's nice to see when people say they would do it again, you know it wasn't a horrific experience.
Yeah.
There were good notes to it, so that's good, and I could totally see you on the trust, absolutely. I think you would be good on traders too, but you're so honest and open, that I don't know if you could, like, spin so that you're potentially one of the traders or a faithful to, like, lie your way through the game,
Yeah.
which it seems like you
I feel
have
like
to do.
I would have a hard time with that. The circle, oh, that's a good one too,
Oh,
because you
yeah.
can pretend to be someone you're not, or you can pretend to be you.
Yeah.
I would probably pretend to be myself.
Oh, man, if then you pretend to be yourself, you try to do a bad job at being
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, yeah.
I would love to see an all reality version of The Circle, like just all celebs from different Netflix shows. I think that would be so fun.
That would
If you
be.
have your, production contacts, you should bug them that they should make
Yeah,
that happen.
that would
Because
be really
there's
fun.
enough shows with enough seasons now. We got
Yeah.
to get you guys, we got to see you again. Which, by the way, we got so excited, even though I know you were in a relationship at the time, seeing this trick of a commercial for Jimmy John's and for the wine. How could you, Taylor? How
I
could you do that to
know.
us?
They did so good. I really didn't
They
know what it was
did.
going to look like, but they killed it. Like they posted the Love is Blind posted on their Instagram and I was like, what are they posting for? Why am I on here? And then I was like, "Oh my gosh, they're tricking everybody." And it was really fun.
How long did you have to like fly back to the pods? Was it the same a similar setup to when you filmed? Hey, lady.
Yeah, I flew back to the pods. So surreal being back, honestly. Like, just such a weird feeling. And I'm just talking to myself in there. And I'm talking about wine, even though I'm like talking about dating and how,
Yeah.
Ooh, you're smooth. Like, but it was a really fun experience. I'm really thankful that I got to do that.
It was very cool and very well played to you guys for keeping it secret and for still tricking us into thinking, well, these guys are all dating somebody. What are they doing? Marshall's engaged. And so
Yes.
well done. And it is sold out almost. I mean, there's like one store an hour away that has it that eventually I'll get to, but I cannot find it anywhere nearby. So you guys did great with that
Yeah.
campaign.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you.
Would you have anything you can think of that you haven't shared in another interview before? I know that's very vague. It could be related to Love is Blind. It could be a hidden talent you have.
I shared this on a Get Ready With Me. It's just about me. It's not about Love is Blind. I played soccer for like 15 years. Fun fact.
Okay.
I was like super, super big into it. I had 21 scholarships for
Wow.
soccer. Yeah. Turned them down. Went to A&M. But yeah, that's just kind of a little fun fact about me. I feel like not a lot of people know.
No, not at all. I had not heard that previously, and it didn't come up in my Instagram digging either, because your Instagram doesn't go back too far.
Yeah, because my last one got hacked. So
Oh no.
that was like, junior high, high school. Thank God, honestly. I needed to get rid of that.
I should have kept digging. Maybe I could have pulled up something good. That's okay. Okay. Next up, was there any behind the scenes drama that never came out?
Honestly, no. I think y'all got a good view of the drama that we had because we were a pretty dramatic season.
You were. I couldn't believe, there were only the 3 couples that got engaged that we saw. And then obviously you guys broke up. And I'm like, why didn't you follow more? What's happening?
Yeah. You just don't know. You just don't know. Like some of the couples that broke up in season 6, like I wouldn't like watching, I wouldn't
Sure.
think that they were going to break up. And so you really don't know.
Yeah, that is fair enough. Do you have any thoughts or advice for fans? We see a lot of online bullying, hate towards certain cast members, especially this season. So any words of advice for us just seeing the show and not being part of the experience?
Yeah, I definitely have some advice. I just would tell people to like stay light and be easy on them because like we're super vulnerable going on this show. We're literally putting our entire lives out there for you guys and for y'all's entertainment. And like for us, it's real life. Like we really get engaged. We really fall in love with these, these people. You hear about so much stuff that like has been private for most of our lives. So just stay light. And it's also so much easier to be kind. I think it's so much harder to be mean. And I really feel for people that on my season and this season that are getting bullied. I just don't think it's very fair because you only see part of it, you don't know everything that's going on.
Absolutely. And I like to say everybody's shades of gray. There's no black and white. So I think that's important to remember too. And we see some of your worst moments, not yours necessarily in particular, but everybody's worst moments on TV. If we had that happen to us in everyday life, it would be very, very different scenario. So I think that's great advice. Do you have a cool experience that came from being on the show?
I would say the wine commercial little deal was probably the coolest thing that's come out of it. I worked with Express, which was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. But I'd say the wine thing was probably like the coolest experience I've had since the show.
I hope they stocked you up on like at least a case.
Oh, they did, but it's already almost gone. So
nice. That's how you know it's good.
Right.
Did you take anything from set when you left?
So I took my journal, and then I took JP's hoodie. I took stuff from like our Hawaiian date, which I don't think y'all got to see that, but our Hawaiian date, I took a few things from that. I didn't like steal it. They like let me have it. And then they gave us a blanket. We all the girls and guys, I think, got a blanket. And it has like my name embroidered on it.
Oh,
So.
okay. That's cute. That's very sweet. Chris had told us because he shared his journal, they spelled his name wrong on the journal. And I'm thinking of all the people you've had of all the seasons. How do you spell Christopher wrong? Like what what are you doing? But then they replaced it so quick. And I'm like,
Oh.
it really is magical over there in Netflix and Kinetic Production Land. They can do anything.
It is. I asked for peanut butter because I am such a picky eater. I eat like I'm 5 years old. And I was like, I want a peanut butter sandwich. And we didn't have peanut butter. I swear they brought me a jar of peanut butter in seconds. I was like, where did it come from?
Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. Just enjoy your peanut butter, Taylor.
Right.
Did you have any ideas for dates or anything that they set up, or did they set things up for you during the pods?
They set it up for you, but you got to tell them, like, I can't remember if we told them or if they just like listened to us, but like,
Oh, why am I big? I just realized that. That's embarrassing. Sorry. There you
oh
go.
my gosh, no, you're fine. You're fine. What was I saying? I like my ADHD.
No, setting up dates in the pods.
Oh yeah, I can't remember if we told them or if they just like heard us, but like I said that I wanted to go to Hawaii. That was on my bucket list. And then like we kind of had like our Hawaiian date night. We did like a game night, stuff like that, but they set it up.
Okay. We saw that you have a cameo, and one of the reviews mentioned that you sang happy birthday to one of your cameos. Do you like to sing?
Yeah.
Is that
I'm
something
not
we
good,
could we potentially see you on like The Voice or The Masked Singer?
Oh no. Y'all would not want that. But I love to sing. I think it's so fun. I sound terrible. I'm not gonna lie. It's so bad. But actually I love singing happy birthday. All my family, they're like, we love it when you sing happy birthday to us.
That's very cute. Now, season 6 is almost finished airing. Obviously, it wrapped a long time ago, but the reunion is going to be on Wednesday. Have you had any chance to meet that cast or prior season cast?
I have met prior season cast. I haven't met anybody from season 6, but I have talked to a lot of them. So I've talked to Chelsea and Jess, Amy. I think those were the 3 girls that I've spoken to this season. So
is it a pretty small world? Because I would imagine there's only 6 seasons worth of you going through this experience. So does everybody kind of support each other?
Oh yeah, everyone supports each other because like I said, you don't understand what we're all going through unless you've done it, you know. So we definitely all have each other's backs and support each other. But I wouldn't say it's like a small world because we're all over the world, like we're all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay, I think this is, at least from the reunion peak we got, the first time we really see multiple seasons interacting. So it'll be interesting to see. And then the worlds are colliding because obviously Giannina's with Blake, and Blake is from The Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise. So maybe we'll start to see these universes colliding. And
I know, I think that they've never done anything like this, but they should definitely continue doing it. Only if they invite me back.
Yeah, we are going to boycott unless you have Taylor back on next time, guys. And we want to be there too. I asked, how do you get an invite to this reunion? I just want to sit in the audience. You don't have to.
I was wondering that, honestly. I was like, where do the people come from? Like, do they get an invite or do they apply? Like, I was wondering that. So that's a good question.
Yeah. Oh, you think you'd have to apply again to be at the reunion?
Not me, but like the other
like
people,
the background?
you know, like yeah. Like I'm like wondering like how they find those people.
I'm sure they're like connections of the crew, the cast, you know, they probably have very limited seating. But yeah, we want to see you back. We want to come too. Hook us up for season 7. If there's a Phoenix season, which I heard that they filmed The Ultimatum in Scottsdale, and it took everything in me to not hunt down that apartment complex and sit outside.
Wow. Is that where you live?
I live in Phoenix, yeah. And I said this would be a great season to do any of the dating shows in because it is a very interesting dating crowd here. I actually, I did the dating apps for a very long time, and if you want drama, you can find it in Scottsdale.
They probably will get there. I feel like they're going all around, so they'll probably get there.
I know, eventually we'll see. And hopefully I get a heads up from someone. There's a lot of spoilers. Did you notice that? The spoilers that have come out now, I think more than any other season, we already know what happens. And we could get bits and pieces. A lot of fans look up marriage records and things like that. But did you follow any of that in your season? any of the gossip or things like that?
Yeah, I did. I followed it. I mean, like every time I like opened my Instagram or TikTok, there would be like something on there about our season, but I tried not to like dig too deep into it. I tried not to read comments. I tried to do my best, even though it's super hard. But I mean, every time I got on social media, I saw something. And same now, like every time I get on social media, I see something about season 6. And there are some people out there that really dig. And I'm like, how do y'all even find this stuff? Like, it's
Oh,
crazy to me.
yeah. I don't know. I get looking up the marriage licenses. That
Mhm.
seems like it's pretty easy to do. But we've had people send us screenshots, and I'm like, how?
Wow.
What do people
Yeah,
reach out to you? These exes coming out of the woodwork. It's crazy.
it is.
Did you have any exes reach out to you saying they were gonna do something like that, or that you heard tried to reach out to media outlets?
No, no, no.
Oh, that's good.
My exes know to stay away. No, no, I didn't do anything, beforehand. I was super single and there was nothing to
Yeah.
really say.
No
But
drama
that
to dig
is
up.
no drama to dig up, but some of that drama, I'm like, "Oh my gosh. How?" And also, how do they even get away with that? Like if you're I don't know. I don't know. All of it, I'm just like, "What?"
Yeah, having gone through the casting process and seeing the drama that comes out now, do you feel like there were so I guess obviously we see that there were very recent exes for some of the cast in this season, maybe current girlfriends off to the side. Do you feel like the interviews address that in your season to kind of eliminate that? Or did you find it was very surface level and there was a lot of opportunities for people to just be on there for their 15 minutes?
I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember. Like
Sure.
I know that we went through the background check. I know that they asked like deep questions, like where I was like, oh my gosh, I have to think about that, like during my interview process. But I I don't really know. Like I would think they would know or they would catch it, especially if they recruit from Instagram, but people can be sneaky. So and
They
I
can.
think we'll find out more about it at the reunion because like I said, I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know, but I think we'll find out like the
It
truth behind all of it.
yeah. It seems like this is the first time everybody's really gonna have to take accountability for their actions. In prior reunions, it was, "We'll go easy on this one," or maybe harder on this person, but
Mhm.
this time and I don't know if maybe that's why they have the couples there this season,
Mhm.
but it seems like nobody's getting away with anything this time, and that's what we're here for.
That's how it should be, huh?
Yeah. And maybe it's just because everything came out the way it did ahead of time, but it looks good and I'm so
It does.
excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have any favorite couples from what you've seen of the show that you were rooting for from the beginning?
From season 6.
Yes, sorry.
Um, I adore Amy. I love her relationship. I was cheering for Brittany and Kenneth. Oh yeah, I've talked to Brittany
Yeah.
too. Duh. I just adore her. I'm like I was really really hopeful for them. And then watching back when they got home, I was like, oh nope, don't think he's the one for her. But I think she's great. But yeah, Amy and Johnny are probably my top. I mean, they're,
Okay.
you know.
And then not a least favorite cast member, but any of the biggest disappointments storyline wise where you were like, why were they on the show? Or how could this turn out this way?
No, I would think
Okay.
I was sad for Brittany, but
Sure.
again, I don't know everything.
Mhm.
You only see bits and pieces, but I felt for her in that moment because I kind of felt very similar to her situation. Like you fall for this version of this person and then they kind of turn out to be someone that you don't even know. And so I felt
Yes.
for her in that situation. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you don't know everything and you only see bits and pieces. So
Sure. Totally understandable. We'll see, like you said at the reunion, what everybody has to say for themselves.
yeah,
But now that you mentioned Brittany and Kenneth, that makes a lot of sense because you and her have some similar, um,
yeah,
different men, but similar history on the show. So I could
right.
see that.
Yeah.
Now, we did have a few fan questions and some compliments too. So I'm going to start with one of the compliments. You are by far one of the sweetest and prettiest girls I have ever seen. And of course, my screen cut off. You deserve so much. And that's from He Loves Cassie, Luuvs. So just
sweet.
sending love to you
Love,
there.
love, love.
And then our first fan question from Bella. I should know this because my last name is hard enough to say. Bella Archidiacono.
What a
Hopefully
name.
that was semi right. Yeah. Is it staged? Is the show staged?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
Is there any influence from production? Do they leave you on your own?
It's probably I haven't been on other shows, but I feel like it's very much like, I mean, they'll ask you questions, they'll push your buttons, they'll get information out of you, but they're very much like, do what you want to do. You don't want to talk about certain stuff, don't talk about it. You do want to talk about it, talk about it.
And Sarah says she agrees you're one of the sweetest and you handled yourself with grace and strength during the weirdness with JP.
Thank you, Sarah.
When you were flying to the show, were you scoping out other potential cast members? So you actually answered this already, but you said you saw Stacy. And who did you meet once you were at the airport?
Myra.
Myra. Okay. And we didn't see her on screen at all.
No, not.
Do you wish you explored any of your other connections more?
I think there's a reason for everything. But I think right after, yes, I do wish that I would have. I was super set on JP so early on. So right after, yes, I did wish that I would have taken time to get to know the other cast members better.
Okay. Pretty please share your skincare routine. And that is from Have You Met Casey?
Hi, Casey. Okay, I'm gonna be doing like skincare, makeup, all of that on my TikTok. And I have shared some stuff on like to know it and Amazon that I use for my skin. But I'm gonna start doing. I've done a few. And I'm gonna do like a Q&A on my TikTok as well, like while I'm doing my skincare and my makeup. So
awesome.
Yeah.
We need to see more of that. I know Jess just put hers out, and I was like, yes, this is the spoiler we need. Of course, we like the drama, but also I want to look at Eternally 25 too. How do you guys do it? Because you're on camera too.
Her skin is, actually, she's just flawless. I was like watching.
So
and I
are
was
you.
Oh, thank you. But I was just like, oh my gosh, jaw drop. Her skin looks perfect. She just looks perfect. So
let's be real. Well, there's like different degrees of gorgeous. They don't cast ugly people. There's nobody on the show who you're like, I cannot look at the screen. Please, I'm canceling my Netflix subscription. No matter what we think of personalities, everybody's is pretty tight looking. Let's see what else we have in the lineup. You answered this one again already, but we'll ask it again from Chelsea Groth because I did not give her credit. If you could go through this experience again, would you? No, yes. The whole thing exactly as is.
Yes, I would go through it again.
Okay.
I would
no regrets.
Have a different outcome if I were to do it again, but
sure.
No, I don't have any regrets because, like I said, I feel like everything happens for a reason. So, no regrets.
Yeah, and you're obviously in a great spot now.
Yes, I am.
Now it's time for my favorite part of the show. We are going to play some Would You Rather. And I pulled some special questions for you. Some of them are reality themed. Some of them are just about life in general. So are you ready to take the hot seat?
I'm ready.
Okay. Would you rather give up the internet or your dog?
Oh, God. Oh my gosh. Could I give my
dog? The dog will go to a good home.
Can I go to like a family member?
That I can't be specific about. We'll just say
I don't know what I would do without the internet.
Really? Oh my gosh.
But I love my dog so much.
I know. I would give up everything for these dogs, and they would probably trade me for a Cheeto. But
right. Okay, I'll give up the internet because I love my dog so much.
I think that answered it before. The hesitation answered it, and that's okay.
I love her, but like the internet is everything.
Would you rather get flowers or chocolate?
Flowers.
Cook or go out to eat?
That's hard. It depends on the day. I'll go cook.
Okay. What do you like to cook?
Enchiladas is my favorite thing.
Oh, okay. Are you a good cook?
First, I feel like I could be, but I'm so busy all the time. But when I do cook, my stuff tastes good.
Okay. Would you rather know what everyone is thinking or be able to control their thoughts?
Be able to control their thoughts.
Okay. Would you have a conversation with your past or future self?
That's such a good question. My future.
Okay. And what would you tell yourself?
Gosh, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. That's such a good question. I'll think about it.
Okay. You can think about it and get back to me.
Okay.
How about travel to your favorite place or try somewhere new?
Try somewhere new.
Okay. What's next on your travel list?
I am going to Gulf Shores and then Vegas. We're planning right now, so those are my two upcoming trips. But like I really want to go to Hawaii. That's like on my bucket list still. So
I think they need to change. I know they did Dominican Republic this season, but they should change the destinations for the pre-honeymoons every season because Hawaii would be obviously some people went to Hawaii this season or Dominican Republic. There's so much more to see. You guys can get into drama in so many other countries.
Stir up the pot in Hawaii. Yeah.
Would you rather be a Kardashian or a Kelsey?
Kardashian.
Okay. Would you rather be on Love is Blind again or Perfect Match?
Love is Blind. I don't think I would survive on Perfect Match. It's actually funny because somebody I know had gone on that show and they were like, you would not survive. And I was like, okay, good to know. Will never happen.
I think I know who that was. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
We did just drop a potential cast list on Instagram if anybody's interested in seeing. But that person is not on there. Okay, so this isn't a would you rather, but more of a how would you. So you can have a dinner party with another reality star, a celebrity, and a historical figure. Who are you bringing to dinner?
Oh my gosh. Celebrity would be Paul Rudd.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I love him. Or Margot Robbie. Dang, that's hard. Probably Paul Rudd.
He can bring a date, and his date can be Margot Robbie, even though I think they're both married, but that's fine.
We can scratch the historical figure.
Yeah. You know what? Three notable names. It doesn't have to be.
Okay. Paul Rudd, Margot Robbie, and if I had to pick another reality star, honestly, I would probably like to bring Jess somewhere. I feel like she's a girl's girl. She seems sweet. She seems fun. I would invite her.
Okay. Have you guys met up in person? Oh,
no,
you said
not yet.
We haven't met in season 6 yet.
Yes, we've just talked a little bit on Instagram, which all of that season seems really sweet. Everybody that I've talked to. So.
I'm surprised you guys don't plan your own little, like, not filmed reunions, but get-togethers of like the girls or the guys to meet up in Vegas or something like that.
That would be really fun. We should do that.
Speaking of, so I don't know if I sent you this, but we are working on a Battle of the Seasons. Did I send you that information?
Yes, you did.
Okay, great. So for those who don't know, Battle of the Seasons is going to be all of the Love is Blind seasons pit against each other in a Family Feud style game. We are going to sell tickets. It will be on either StreamYard or Zoom, depending on how we're able to figure that out. And we are going to raise funds for the animal charity of the team's choice. The winners will get to pick, and all of the proceeds will go straight to that charity. So if you have a dog that you love or a foster pet, or you love seeing the cast interact with their pets, even if they might give up the internet for them or them for the internet, you could probably see Taylor. I think Stacy's going to be on from your season, Chris from your season. We've got Vince from season 6. Everybody's starting to line up. So please look for more information on the Battle of the Seasons. Love is Blind edition is going to come. We need to take a break, Taylor. It has been a long season. I have not been able to keep up. We've got interviews that came out that I haven't promoted yet. Poor Jordan is up to her ears in editing. It's been a lot. But I want to thank you for coming on today. And do you have anything that you want to promote or share?
Nope. You can just
No?
follow me on Instagram, TikTok. No.
Well, you said you have your skincare and makeup routines coming out, right?
Yes, I'm going to post it on
Okay.
TikTok. I probably maybe
Okay.
will post it on Instagram, but I feel like with reels like that, I post more on TikTok. So,
Okay. So we'll look for you on both. And is your handle the same on both?
yes, it is.
Okay. Awesome. So it's just Taylor Rue, right?
Taylor M. Rue.
Taylor M. Rue. Okay. So
Yes.
follow Taylor M. Rue for your skincare and beauty routines and everything else on Instagram and TikTok. You can follow the Love Pod at Love Pod Podcast on whatever social of your dreams and on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and everything else. Thank you for putting up with us today. It has been a very bumpy ride without Jordan, but I'm so glad that you came, Taylor. And thank you again. We love you, and we'll see everybody next time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Love Pod. Make sure you subscribe to the Love Pod on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And you can follow us all across social media at the Love Pod Podcast. The links are all in the show notes, and we'll see you guys next time.